Right, so this is Avalino with Digimon World 1, and this is still day 1. Last time I recruited Palmon, which I didn't say last video, but the brain chip that I dropped, the stat boosting items, they're pretty rare, so I'd save them. Pretty much all of the stat boosters you get, just put them in the item bank. And then, before the final dungeon, save them all up so you can easily get an ultimate. Because it's really hard to get an ultimate in this game by stats alone. And even then, it'd be too weak for the final dungeon, so you want all the stat boosters you can get. Also accidentally ran into this battle, but the Digimon here aren't too tough. It's a bit strange, the voicing in the opening cutscene was translated into English, but although there's only like a couple of them, there's still got the Japanese in the actual game itself, like the, well, Golbez says Yatta at the end of every battle. Yep, we're definitely going to see that. Well, call them on. Also, talking to Uramon there, just outside Gigimon's house. Always, like, until a certain point, I'll point out the time. Keep talking to Uramon whenever you can, since it's necessary to continue on the game. At certain points, of course. Also, my first Digimon won't get too much training, because in my, well, I'll call it a practice run now, but in my old run that got lost when my old laptop broke. With the first Digimon I recruited, well, I got 40 points of recruiting, well, about 40 points. Oh yes, I need to explain that as well. Each Digimon you recruit gives you a certain amount of points. The in-training ones, which you get at the start, you know, Tanamon and all the other ones that are there, they don't count for anything. Rookies give you 1 point each one you recruit. Champions give you either 2 or 1 points, and Ultimates give you 3 points to this city. There's you need, to enter the final dungeon, you need 50 points. I got 40 on the first one. First Digimon. So I was in kind of like prime position to complete the game with the second Digimon. But that's mostly because I did very little training. Anyway, we're in the drill tunnel now. If you use an Agumon, and I think you can, if you use Gabumon, depending on what the choices you made at the start, which is basically, if you choose that you like nighttime, you get Gabumon. Also, the Drill Digimon, I forgot its name. It says we're not ready yet. In here is the reason I told you that you need to save up all your items. Digimon, that's it. Well, Digimon's a champion. Most of its attacks are slow, so you can basically quite a lot of the time, just although you can't control it yourself, an Agumon will easily interrupt most of its attacks because Spitfire is really quick. This is why I prefer taking Agumon over Gabumon. Although I think Gabumon can actually learn a move from this Digimon if you're lucky. Learning a move after battle depends on your brain stat. I think there's a base rate of 5%, and for each 100 points of brains your Digimon has, for each 100%, I think it increases a further 5%. So, back on the last video where I was fighting that Agumon, it had a move that Agumon could have learned called Sonic Jab. But since Agumon has really low brain, well, below 100, there was only 5% chance of me learning that move. But it's not that good anyway. Anyway, so I've beaten that Digimon with a finisher. It's a volcano, of course. There's well, not a fire, but convection, convection currents. I do physics, if you're wondering. Wondering why I'm shouting about convection currents. Anyway, now that we fought that Digimon, you can talk to the other one, but remember that Colemon that appears at the late afternoon. This is the time you want to do it. It's a bit annoying because Agumon goes to sleep at around that time. You'd be better off with Gabumon. Anyway, we're heading to the place to find Colemon. It's you'll see when we'll get there. I don't want to explain too much before it even happens. Oh yeah, I didn't say what Palmon did. When Palmon goes to the city, she or he, I don't actually know whether it is a girl or a boy, replaces Tanemon. Instead of meat, you get giant meat, which is better for feeding champions and ultimates. And it also raises your Digimon's weight by 2, rather than 1, which the Digimushrooms and normal meat does. It doesn't matter which answer you choose. Colemon always lets it across. Man, gold bears can really jump far. Anyway, we've got to a tropical jungle. There's quite a few very useful Digimon we can recruit here. One of them I can't do yet because you need lots and lots of floppies. Well, recovery floppies to do it. You can use recovery floppies and MP floppies outside of battle as well. I didn't mention that before. But this first one is pretty simple to get. Look, Agumon's trying to, wants to go to sleep. I think it's a care mistake not to let it go to sleep during the hour it wants to. more lively. There's barely anyone there. Probably expects me to recruit a lot more Digimon, but since I'm recruiting everything I can as quick as I can, I have, well, and plus I've already played this game, I think, well, five times now, including the one that with the data I've lost. So pretty much know my way all the way back. Know the whole game in and out. Anyway, the bridge has been fixed, but only if you approach it from this direction.